Good afternoon, and thank you for having me. I am truly honored to be standing in front of you today to honestly just say thank you. I can't believe that I'm going to graduate dental school in 3 short days, but I am, and I feel so privileged to do so from this great university. As President Monaco said, I am a proud native of Caribou, Maine, a small city in northern Maine of about 8,000 people. Upon hearing that I'm from Maine, new friends often respond with a story about skiing at Sugarloaf or attending the Old Port Fest in Portland. But what I always am sure to make very clear is that I am from northern Maine, which is at least a 7-hour drive from here, where our city is named after a giant moose, and we have 3 weeks off from school for harvest break to help local farmers harvest potatoes. This then leads to me clarifying, yes, I like it there, and yes, I'm going back to practice there too. I chose the University of Maine for college as I knew I would be going to either medical or dental school, and I didn't want to take on too much debt early on. My mother is a dental hygienist and had always hoped to see me become a dentist. After shadowing the dentist in her office one summer, I found that dentistry was exactly what I wanted in a day's work. Unfortunately, due to a chronic illness, my father had to stop working my sophomore year of college. This put tremendous financial strain on my family, and scholarship applications and student loans were my new reality. After a visit to UMaine's financial aid office, I was blessed to receive a scholarship from a very generous couple that were local to the University of Maine and both happened to be Tufts alumni. I got to know Warren and Evelyn Silver and often turned to them for advice. I vividly remember one day talking to Judge Silver about how anxious I was about the dental admissions exam. He asked me what I was doing to prepare, and at that point, I think I had bought a couple of books that I was vigorously studying from, and he immediately cut me off and offered to pay for the full Kaplan prep course, something that was well beyond my reach and something I didn't even have the chance to consider. He said that his hope for me was to someday be able to live a life where finances did not guide every major decision I made, and only asked that I pay it forward and help someone else the same way he and his wife were helping me. So as promised, I did not let my choice of dental school be affected by finances. Rather, I wanted to choose the program where I knew I would receive the best education. Upon receiving my admission offers, decision day in December of 2012, there was no question as to where I was going, Tufts University. For those of you who have had the chance to visit the dental campus, you will understand me when I say I was blown away by the level of prestige felt upon walking not only into the clinic, but into the building itself. The fact that we receive our coursework, preclinical preparation, and transition into the clinic with all 9 specialties of dentistry and world-renowned faculty all in one building can often be taken for granted, but it truly makes Tufts stand out as one of the best dental schools in the country. And now that I can take a step back, I realize the tremendous value in the phenomenal education that I have received. When I started at Tufts, I told myself I was choosing to make a long-term investment in my future, and when it came down to it, I would tackle this astronomical loan one payment at a time. With that said, you can imagine my surprise when I received an email from the financial aid office that said if I was committed to rural New England for both the 5-week dental externship program and to return there after graduation, I would be eligible for a scholarship from Northeast Delta Dental. That had been my plan all along, so I was quick to respond and am so grateful to have received the scholarship from Northeast Delta over the last 2 years. My time on externship in Eagle Lake, an hour north of my hometown, made me appreciate and understand that the healthcare crisis exists and is the harsh reality for the people of northern Maine. It's one thing to read about this rural healthcare crisis in rural New England, but to experience it firsthand as a dentist was entirely astonishing and one of the most valuable experiences I gained at Tufts. It would have been impactful to spend 5 weeks in an underserved area no matter where I went. But to be a provider so close to home and treat patients, some of which I knew, that had these complicated dental situations, mostly all stemming from a basic lack of oral health care education, was truly staggering to me. I am so grateful to Tufts to have this wonderful opportunity that will largely influence how I approach my practice of dentistry as I return to serve the community that I know and love. The support I have received from Northeast Delta Dental and Tufts has truly been a gift, thanks to all of you before me. I went into dental school expecting to be hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and I was fully prepared to be. But these gifts have had such an impact to alleviate some of this financial burden. And for that, I want to express my most sincere thanks and make the same promise to all of you that I did 7 years ago. I will pay it forward, and I will help someone else feel the same way that I do standing in front of you all today. Thank you.